You like it when I don't show restraint. You like it, ignite it. The stars are aligning, yeah. You like it when I make you call my name. So call my name. Call my name. Call my name. Yeah, I'm on my way. So don't be afraid to show that pretty body off. I really want you, my baby. Call my name. You want me exclusively. More time than just put it on me. Sweet love is she giving me all the time. You want me exclusively. More time than just put it on me. Sweet love is she giving me all the time. Oh babe, ocean wave don't move like that. Love your ways when it moves like that. Ain't no way I won't fight back. Cause baby, any time of the day, let me get you off cause you really want to. Show that body off cause you really want to. Don't know what it is, but you make me feel insane. When you call my name, call my name, call my name, yeah, I'm on my way. So don't be afraid to show that pretty body off. I really want you, my baby. Call my name. Ocean waves don't move like that. Love your ways when it moves like that. Ain't no way I won't fight back. Cause baby, any time of the day, let me get you off cause you really want to. Show that body off cause you really want to. Don't know what it is, but you make me feel insane. When you call my name, call my name, call my name, yeah, I'm on my way. So don't be afraid to show that pretty body off. I really want you, my baby. Call my name. Ocean waves don't move like that. Love your ways when it moves like that. Ain't no way I won't fight back. Cause baby, any time of the day.
Thumbs up, you guys.
Hello, Crush. Guys, shrimp spaghetti with the kid.
Thumbs up if you're rolling in. I didn't even check to see if my microphones. Hold on. Oh, yeah, they're good. They're good. They're good. Thumbs up, you guys. If you guys are coming in, whether you are a Bush baby or not, hit that old nasty piece of thumbs up. I'm going to give you guys time to get in here to share the thumbs up, to get situated, all of that good jazz.
She wanna be experimental, like Bunny and Clyde, but way more freaky. But setting the vibe, you way more sneaky. Ay, you're telling your lies to make out with me. Excited, yeah, me got you excited. You'll never break sweat like this. Grabbing you up in the bed all day, pulling you closer and closer to me. When you come over, oh, what a night it will be, for sure. Just open your legs for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. Let's go. You the spice I need, Miss Pepper. Ay, say my name when I enter you. Take you on a wild adventure. Ay, tell you all the things I'm about to do. Baby, give you loving every day. Let you never know, say me no play, no play. Many cover me be that me did. Got me loving your body, pulling me closer and closer to me. When you come over, oh, what a night it will be, for sure. Just open your eyes for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. The only goals in sight is for you to hold me tight. Got me rolling the dice, but I'm taking my chances. Yeah, lips dripping, but it's only the glaze. Giving me the lay that you wanted to taste. So when I call, please don't be late. Hot temperature, high fever. Hungry for more, I'll feed you. When I pull up, you know what to do. Cause every time I pull you closer and closer to me, when you come over, oh, one night, baby, for sure. Just open your lips for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please. I'm ready to take the lead. Just open for me, please.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. How doing? What's going on, you guys? I just switched to my main microphone. I want to make sure that she is giving. So give me a 1 if you guys can hear me and hear me well. All right, give me a 1 in the chat. And if you guys are giving me a 1, go ahead and run that thumbs up all the way. All the way, yeah. All right. Okay, it's giving 1. All right, it's giving great. All right. What's going on, you guys? Happy Wednesday. I said, you know what? Breaking news. Why not just go live? All right. So you guys can already see what we're here to get into, girl. And we have quite a bit to get into. I have some interesting thoughts. Okay, it's going to be a lot of hypotheticals, a lot of allegedly. You know, we're going to be exploring thought in this commentary, all right? And depending on what the time frame looks like, I may drop the link or we may do an after show because I also want to get into Al Reynolds, who also had told his side of the story regarding the whole TGIF Funky Dineva Claudia Jordan breakdown situation. But we'll play that by ear. Right now, I need you guys to go ahead and run that thumbs up until it is up. Yellow boy! Is that my Brandon in the chat? Yellow boy? Brandon, is that you in the chat? As he answering that, y'all run that thumbs up. You guys know that thumbing up not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you guys are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another conscious crew member and telling them to get their arses into the goddamn sanctuary, all right? So whether you are a part of the Replay Gang, you are a Bush baby, or you're actively in the streets right now getting dirty down with me, girl, in the trenches, run that thumbs up. Also, shout out to all of the new subbies. Hello, I love you guys for a long time. Also, make sure that you guys have all of your notification bells set to all because you never know what day or hour the king shall be kinging. And last but not least, can y'all share the stream out? This is why I kind of let the intro play a little bit to give you guys time to copy and paste, share out all over your social medias and things. So whether you got a YouTube community wall or Snapchat, a BGC, a Adam for Adam, a Plenty of Fish, Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF, I don't really give a damn when you lay the link. Just let them boards know the real loud live and in color. With no further ado, let's push on through. Okay.
Hey, what's up, Larry, baby? Listen, this is.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I had them press the wrong intro, y'all. Shout out to our choir mother, Angie, okay? That was nostalgic as hell, right? We ain't seen that intro in a long time. But we may be reiterating it again, okay? Because it's about to be some updates on some teams. But we ain't here to get into all of that. Yeah, Yellow Boy, I'm going to cuss you out, okay? I've been meaning to actually text you. So I'm going to text you before the night is out. What's going on, Taryn? What's going on, Allison? Hey, boo, you've been working. I've been binge watching to catch up. Thank you. Hey, Ray. What's going on, boo? Hey, BS Speaks. Hey, Shauna. What's going on, Felon? Hey, boo, love you back. Hey, Jay Goody. What's going on, BS Speaks? What's going on, Yellow Boy? What's going on, Sabian? Hey, what's going on, Majestic D, Sabby, Beth, Deborah, H, Sherry? What's going on, JH, Dion, K, Shay? Hey, boo, what's going on, Francis? Thank you, love. Hey, Lynn. What's going on, Leonard? Hey, boo. What's going on, C, Wilson? Hey, Beth. Hey, Caitlin, LaShonda, Sherry. I feel like we in the PB Pablo damn music video, girl. We in Freak Elite, girl. Shakita and Wendy. Miss Telling the Truth. Boss Lady. What's going on, Scorpion Lady? Hey, boo. Hey, y'all. There's a lot of y'all in here. Hey, Denitria. What's going on, Lady Butterfly? So, if you guys are keeping up with my social medias, I told you guys I was going to be pushing through with some hair videos and all of that. I know it's been a long time coming, girl. And I think I found a way that I can push out a lot of hair content without it just like irritating my patience, all right? So I think I'm going to give you guys a lot of hair tutorials, a lot of unboxing, a lot of how-tos when it comes to the YouTube shorts, okay? So I had uploaded to my Instagram and had uploaded to my old nasty piece of YouTube short today. For all of you guys who've been asking for hair. So just check out the shorts. I did a little 1-2 with the shorts. You can see how I was fitting on some things. And this hair that you guys are going to see in the short is this hair right here. If you guys ever want like in-depth, more nuanced tutorials, then just put the request in under the shorts. And then I'll duly note it and then make an actual upload, okay? In case you guys want a tutorial on what I'm doing or whatever the case may be. So what we're going to do is we're going to push on over to my short section. And I'm going to show you guys what it gives in case you guys haven't seen this. And check this out. Hold on. Let me switch over the old nasty piece. I hate doing this back and forth mic shit. I gotta find another way. I hate it. All right. All right. So that was old nasty piece of short, girl. So that's what I'm going to be giving to you guys going forward when it comes to hair and all of that. Just look at the shorts because that's where that content will be loaded up at. Hey, Queen Keish, who says, I like the robe. Thank you. This is my custom Versace robe. Shout out to my sugar daddy. You guys know that at this point in my life, I am a professional sugar baby. I do not fall in love with men. I only use them. Okay. And actually, the same zaddy actually had another Versace robe come for me day before yesterday, so I'll probably be pushing through on camera with that one as well. I am in love with these robes. Right now he's having some of them made with my logo and my name on the back. He's got a particular and special plug at Versace, girl, custom made down to the ground, girl. So shout out to Zaddy, girl. Okay, so let's go. We ain't here to get into all that. If y'all want a sugar daddy story and some sugar daddy story times, then we'll get into that as well. And once again, if you guys want more details about any hair that I'm rocking, if there's anything that you want to see me do as it relates to hair, any process you want to, be nosy about, just leave those type of comments and requests under the comment section of those shorts, or you can email me at Consciouztv or DM me, etc. Do all that y'all do. Now, we're here to get into some things, girl, because there's a lot going on, girl. I don't know if you guys have been aware. Probably have to do a little background here before we get started, a little context. But you guys know that Bishop Lamar Whitehead, child, he's been in the pressed hard ever since his church got robbed. International mugshots of tomorrow. And he's been in jail for putting his hands on Tarsha Howard since. He's also had an altercation with his wife that caused police to come out to the community, girl, when she was trying to escape Alcatraz, allegedly. You guys also know that he was indicted on bank fraud, wire fraud, lying to authorities, and then they superseded the indictment. So he's facing trial next month, the month of love, girl. So, he's been a trending topic for a minute. Now, you guys know that when this infamous church robbery happened, girl, it sent shockwaves all throughout media, child. The story went completely viral. It went damn global, and there wasn't not one commentator and one media outlet that did not weigh in one way, shape, or form or another when it came to the robbery. Now, as a result of this robbery taking place, which, to you guys' memory, Bishop Whitehead was robbed blind in broad daylight while live streaming his sermon over on Facebook for several of his followers, girl. 3 tall, lanky ass delinquents, girl, bum rushed through the sanctuary, damn near knocked over the Boost Mobile that was on a tripod, live streaming the entire service. Thrashed him all across the stage, ripped his chain from his neck, allegedly put GUNs to his wife and his daughter's head, girl. They also robbed the wife as well. And about $250,000, girl, was just gone in jury. Now, this created a lot of controversy and conversation on the internet. Most of media believed that Bishop Whitehead had something to do with the robbery. It was just too bizarre. The whole situation was wild. It was unheard of. So a lot of people struggled to believe that this was a genuine incident. I mean, what burglars are crossing the street and getting out of the damn Uber in broad daylight and just casually walk into a church, mask on? The church is sitting on top of a damn bodega, okay? So this is a very intersectional area of the city. And here it is. These guys just walked across the street, fully armored up. There was no lock on the church doors. There were no security codes. There were no bounty hunters. There was no nothing, girl. They just, ski on through the church, girl. So, rightfully so, a lot of people felt like, girl, something ain't right in the buttermilk. This is a scheme that Candy and Todd came back to us with, child. Things got even worse when people started to slow down the damn video and started to inspect the whole situation. Folk were saying that Bishop was the first one to drop to his nose, girl, face down, ass up. Okay, that he didn't even run over to the wife. He didn't even run over to his newborn. He didn't even do what instinctually any other husband would have done. And people were arguing that maybe he didn't do that because he knew this wasn't real to begin with. There was no real imminent danger. There was no real eye of the tiger. There was no real Lucifer in the building, girl. So what was the point? Other people argued that he was just a pussy asshole. All right. Now, things got even more interesting when folks started to slow down shit. And right on to the left, girl, was an old nasty piece of eunuch, girl. Old usher boy who was just sitting there, perched to the left of the stage. And he was there just like he was watching a damn movie. Okay? At the theater 8, girl. Okay? He didn't flinch. He didn't fly. He didn't skip, hop, disappear. He didn't stop, drop, or roll, girl. He just sat there with his Bible in his lap and just looked at the shenanigans. So the whole situation was bizarre. Things got even more interesting when folk began to pile into the identity of Bishop Whitehead and found out that he has had a very, very criminal past, that he's been arrested and served time for similar charges that he's currently facing now, that he's been out in and out of the criminal justice system. He's had to pay back restitution. He's committed crimes all the way down to Mexico and Cabo, allegedly, girl. Okay, the mugshots are mugshotting, all right? So there was a lot of credibility that was lost on behalf of Bishop, who already had a troubling past, coupled with the bizarreness of the incident in and of itself. So a lot of folk believe that this man had something to do with the robbery. Now, I was one of a handful, of a minority of commentators who I didn't think much about whether the burglary was real or not. That really wasn't my focus. My commentary really focused on why this man was walking around with $500,000 on his neck and occupied spaces without proper protection, without proper security. Okay, I didn't understand why a pastor wanted to showboat, $500,000 on their neck and wrists and ears, etc., when preaching the gospel. Because if we know there's anything that Christ preached a lot about, it was not only hell, forgiveness, love, but it was also modesty. Okay, so that was my particular commentary. Okay, so the robbery I felt was strange, but I could also see how the robbery could have genuinely happened, because Bishop Criminal Head just gets me stupid. Okay, I mean, he's just dumb. Now, in the onslaught of all of that happening, girl, 2 of the suspects was arrested. There was a lot of drama going on around that as well. They never caught the 3rd suspect. Okay. Both of these young men, who I believe are both in their late 20s, it's Daquan and something else. Both of them made a plea deal. Initially, they opted out of the plea deal, renegotiated, and then eventually came back and pled guilty to according charges. Okay, they also are currently awaiting trial, arraignment, etc. All right. Now, during this whole time, the 3rd suspect had done hit it, girl. He was nowhere to be found. They could not locate him, etc. until today. Shamar Legette, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, has been unalived by U.S Marshals. Okay, let me go ahead and run up. Nasty piece of visual for you guys. Okay, this is Shamar Legette. Now, we also had live streamed and also kept you guys updated over here about Shamar. We told you guys, I think about 9 months ago, 8 months ago, whenever it was, that he was still on the run. He was a suspect in question, a suspect of interest, and we had a little conversation at that time as well about the role that Shamar played. Now, as I said in the intro, this is going to be a very conspiratory commentary. We're going to just explore. We're not accusing Whitehead of anything. We're just going to talk about what the word on the curb has been. We're going to talk about what a lot of his critics are going to say about this whole situation, because I can already predict where the critics are going. Okay, so we're going to give credence to all of those hypotheticals and have that full-on conversation. He also went live as well, and we're going to get a little bit into his live stream that happened about an hour or, well, now 2 ago. He also spoke about Mr. Shamar being unalived by U.S. Marshals, etc. So yeah. So what I'm going to do is give you guys the 411 about this arrest, courtesy of ABC7ny.com, okay? And the headline reads, hold on, let me scoot over to the left. Hold on, let me get my beautiful microphone in here, okay? Whew, okay, all right. ABC7 reads, man wanted in 2022 robbery fatally shot by U.S. Marshals at hotel in New Jersey. Law enforcement sources claim. Hold on. South Brunswick, New Jersey. A man wanted in connection with the 2022 robbery in Brooklyn was fatally shot by U.S. Marshals attempting to arrest him in New Jersey on Wednesday. That would be today. Shamar Legette, Shamar, okay, was shot at the MHON and Suites on Route 1 in South Brunswick for his connection in the robbery of Bishop Lamar Whitehead, law enforcement sources said. Bishop Whitehead was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of a live stream church service on July 24th of 2022. He said that 3 men waving GUN stole hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry from him and his wife. At the time, 2 suspects were quickly arrested and charged federally. Police released an image of the third suspect, Mr. Shamar, soon after. Shamar served 2 sentences in state prison for robbery, attempted murder, and weapons possession, and was released from Fishkill Correctional Facility 6 months before Whitehead was robbed. The Attorney General's office, as well as New Jersey State Police, investigating the fatal shooting. There was some kind of scuffle between law enforcement and Shamar before the U.S. Marshals shot and unalived him, law enforcement sources say. A woman in the hotel room was taken out without incident and was not injured, law enforcement sources say. Even though the shooting occurred in South Brunswick, it did not involve South Brunswick police officers. A source confirmed additionally, the NYPD is not involved with the investigation at this time. The shooting occurred at a hotel on Route 1 near a Promenade Boulevard. Because of police activity in the area, drivers should expect heavy traffic and delays southbound on Route 1, south of Route 522 and Promenade Boulevard. Girl! It's a lot going on, okay? Now, I want to pull one more article, and this one is from New York Daily News. Suspect wanted in the caught-on-camera stick-up of Bling Bishop Lamar Whitehead was reportedly shot and unalived by police at a New Jersey hotel on Wednesday. U.S. Marshals were attempting to arrest Shamar, 41 years of age, at the MHON and Suites on US 1 in Monmouth Junction on Wednesday afternoon, according to NBC New York. Shamar reportedly came out hooting at deputy marshals, and they fired back, hitting the man and unaliving him. The man was one of 3 who held up Whitehead, his wife, and their child at GUN Point during a July 24, 2022 heist in Canarsie, according to the Popo. Already arrested in the robbery were alleged accomplices Juwan Anderson, and Saquon Pollock, who were nabbed a few weeks after the incident. Pollock, 25 years of age, pled guilty to a federal robbery charge in November. As news of Shamar's death made it to Whitehead, he told the Daily News that it's, quote, unfortunate that another young man of color has been unalive. I forgive him, and I would love for me and his family to reconcile. Whitehead added, I would give my services for free because I am a pastor, and the last church that he was in was my church, even though he was doing something improper. Whitehead's own trial for fraud and extortion is set to start next month. Of course, the Daily News shady ass had to also include that. He landed in the city spotlight thanks to his friendly ties with Mayor Adams. As Brooklyn Bureau president, the poll had Whitehead appear with him at public events, and Whitehead has said he used to see the mayor as his mentor and quote-unquote good friend. Shamar did 2 stints in prison for robbery, attempted murder, and weapons possession, and was released from Fishkill Correctional Facility in Dutchess County in January of 2022, just 6 months before the high-stakes robbery. He was on parole until February. Whitehead was preaching at Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry on Rempson Avenue near Avenue D when 3 masked robbers barged into the church as parishioners worshipped, video shows. The men made off with $1 million in jewelry. Oh, not a $500,000, baby, a whole million. Even though Whitehead has gone to change up the numbers from $1 million to $500,000 to $250,000, girl, we don't know. From Whitehead and his spouse, who was holding the couple's daughter when robbed by one of the gun-toting men, officials said. After the incident, rumors swirled that it was an inside job, but police determined the flashy bishop played no part in the heist. Quote, they destroyed my ministry, Whitehead said Wednesday of the robbers. They had the world believe that I was the one that set up the robbery, and some still believe that. I was turned from a victim into a villain, and it happened up all these other attacks on my life. In December 22, Whitehead was charged with fraud, extortion, and lying to authorities. Federal prosecutors said he solicited money from victims, including a retired parishioner, through threats of false investment promises, and then kept the coin. Last March, he was hit with a wire fraud charge after he falsely informed a bank that his business held $2 million when in reality it had less than $10. A superseding indictment filed in Manhattan federal court details. Girl, there's a lot going on. So Shamar was on parole, had already served time for weapons possession, unaliving a man. Then, because he is in connection to this crime, they found this man at a hotel, and he came out ooting at U.S. Marshals, girl. So it got popping real quick, real fast. Now, the fact that Shamar came out ooting tells me that possibly this man had a potential death wish. I mean, it would be hard for me to believe that he thought he would make it out of something like that alive. I would assume because of his stints in prison, as well as his current parole, he know that whatever the sentencing would probably be for the rest of his life, because he is already a utmost repeat offender in the judicial system. If he was to return back and be sentenced, he probably would have got maximum sentencing. More than likely probably would have rotted away in prison, or there wouldn't have been much of him left by the time he was done. I think this man just didn't give a fuck. The popo was outside. He said, you know what, girl, I'm not going back to prison. I can't do that. I'm going to take my chances busting through the damn crowd, girl, and it's either dead or alive. But I'm really not trying to go back to prison like that. Okay? So the man was GUN down on sight. Now, Whitehead has, right, it's given Frankie and set it off Deborah. Exactly. I was like, why does this scene sound familiar to me? Like, this is giving, you just hit it, Deborah. It's giving an old nasty piece of Set It Off, Girl, the prequel. Thank you, TS, for the old nasty piece of Cash App, baby mama. Thank you, darling. If you guys are enjoying the commentary, you guys know to blow the PayPal and the Cash App right on up. So what we're going to do is now get into Whitehead's commentary, and then we're going to get into my notes. And then if we have time, I'm going to drop the links and let you guys come up here and weigh in on the shenanigans of them all, okay? This is courtesy of his Facebook live stream. Let me go ahead and put up my old nasty piece of fair use. And then we can listen in to the bishop. I'm just going to save all my commentary for the end, and we're not going to listen to all 30 minutes. But just enough. All right, let me go ahead and switch over my old nasty piece of microphone so you guys can hear it straight from the MacBook herself. All right, let's get into this commentary, y'all.
Today, how you doing today? Y'all tune in. Just want to give you guys an update on this breaking news, y'all. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How are you doing? How's everybody doing? My. It's turning around. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I can't fast forward it either, unfortunately.
How you doing? How you doing?
Exactly, Andre. Going out in a whole blaze of
How you doing? Come on, y'all tune in. I'm not going to be up here long.
Hold on, let me see if I can fast forward. I'm going to be so mad if I try to. Can I? Oh, I can. Okay.
A lot of you guys been inboxing me, and I've seen the news all across the screens, all over the media, and of course they've been calling me. For the ones that don't know, my name is Bishop Whitehead, and I am the pastor and founder of Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministries. And on July 24th, 2022, our church was robbed by 3 gunmen. And Bishop Whitehead and the church, we were ridiculed. They destroyed my name. Every platform that said that the bishop set up the robbery, I'm talking about, they destroyed my name. And they've turned Bishop Whitehead from a victim to a villain. And this was traumatizing, man. When I tell you, I'm still going through the trauma. I'm strong. I'm from Brooklyn. You know, it's all good. I come from the streets. But to be ridiculed and for every platform to call you a scammer, to call you a manipulator, and it's good for you that you got robbed because you're robbing the community. You set the church robbery up, and I'm talking about the ridicule and the trauma. It has been ongoing. And they arrested 2 of the suspects in September. And there was a 3rd man at large. And this 3rd guy was the name of Shamar Legette. You probably saw me post this picture. Shamar Legette. And this was the guy that put the gun in my wife's face and put the gun in my 8-month-old daughter's face. So this is the guy that was at large, and he came and put the gun to my head and ripped my clergy collar off and ripped my chains off, and he was just brutal. However, today they've been looking for him and they've been searching for him, and today the marshals caught him in New Jersey. and he didn't want to give himself up. He had a weapon, and he was killed. So the third suspect was killed today. And I want to say this publicly. I really want to say this publicly. My condolences go out to his family, and if he has children, his significant other, my condolences go out to his family. And I don't know if his parents are alive, his grandparents are still alive. My condolences really go out to his family. This is a sad situation where, once again, we as African-American people, it's a cycle of destruction. 3 black men come into a African-American's pastor's church and destroys it and destroy it. And now 2 young men are facing federal charges. Well, they just pled guilty, rather. They both pled guilty to the robbery. And now the third suspect is dead. What sense does that make? It's so senseless. It's so senseless. And I wish that he would have gave himself up. I wish he would have gave himself up. I wish that, he would have thought about his children. And, even though he would have had to do some time, he could have still been home for his children. The Bible says that a blessed man is a man that takes care of his children's children. So there is children that's coming. His children is going to be raised, if he has children. I don't know. He's going to have grandchildren. And come on, that wasn't the good way to go out. However, today, I think, it's a sad day. But today, the third guy, his name is Shamar Legette, he was killed today by the police. And it's just so senseless. But what I do want to do is I want to extend my condolences to his family. And I also, I forgive him. I've been forgave him. I was angry, but I forgive him. And I do want to extend my services to the family. I would eulogize him. I would preach the sermon, preach his service, whatever I can do as a pastor in a pastor's capacity, I would do it free of charge. And I would love to meet his family. If his parents are alive or if his children are alive, I would love to meet them to allow them to know that I forgive him and that I have no animosity towards them, right? And yes, I'm hurting because of, I'll be this year I'll be pastoring 11 years, and the Lord built this ministry, and it's rough building a ministry, and for these guys to come in and destroy what God has built, and I know God is going to restore it. However, just going through the process of restoration is rough, where a lot of members left, a lot of my leaders left, because of all of the media saying that I set up the robbery and their family was putting pressure on them. And it was a lot. It was a lot, man. It was a lot. It was so much pressure coming from the media, coming from family. And it was so many lies that were happening, and it destroyed my ministry. But, we're still here. Leaders of Tomorrow International Ministry. We're still here. We're still here strong, and we're going to keep pushing. And God is going to send a fresh wind, and God is going to send, new people. I'm not giving up. I'm going to push forward. However, it hurts, man. When the church got robbed, that was we was 2 months away from our 10-year anniversary. So to be ridiculed throughout so many pulpits, so many preachers talked about me. So many people talked about me and said that I set the robbery up, and a lot of people said that was good for me and I shouldn't have did this shit. They turned me into a villain. They turned the pastor into the villain. But Scripture teaches us that the devil always tries to destroy what God has created. But like I said, I'm not going to be here long. I just really want to give you guys an update on what has taken place. The third guy that was on the run since July of 2022, he's just been killed by the police. He was on parole. He just got on parole. I believe he came home on parole. I think they said, I don't know, but it was like months before he did the robbery. And he just got through doing some prison time for robbery. And I think this was the same guy that robbed Chris Childs back in the day, the NBA player. He robbed Chris Childs. So, you know, he targeted celebrities. And it's a sad day, a sad situation. And I know that a lot of police are watching this. I know a lot of prosecutors are watching me right now. I know the FBI is watching me right now. I know everybody's watching me right now. But you're going to hear Bishop Whitehead's heart. And I truly forgive this young man. As I said before, I'm human, so I was angry, and I'm human, and trauma is still gonna hit, you know. And God is a gracious God, because He's able to show me how to forgive, you know. He showed me how to forgive. And what y'all see what's happening is the enemy orchestrated this, right? And opened me up to a lying Caucasian white guy named Brandon Belmonte. He seen all of these things that was going on in my life. He knew things that I was successful, and then he set me up. So now next month, y'all, I'll be going to federal trial for the lies of Brandon Belmonte, the setup. And I just really want y'all to see this, man. Like, Bishop been going through, but I've been standing 10 toes down, and I'm going to push forward for my freedom. That's just what it is. And y'all going to see all of Brandon Belmonte lies come out. Y'all going to see it. And but what happened and what the design of the enemy was to destroy the ministry, destroy my name, and try to put me away with a lie. But God is my redeemer, and God is just amazing. And, you know, the Bible says in Psalms 105:15, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. And let me tell y'all something. Everyone that had Bishop Whitehead's name in your mouth, you know, repent, because God is going to protect me, man. God is going to protect. I'm telling you, God's going to protect me and my family. God has me covered. God has me covered. And for all of the media that ridiculed me, that has destroyed my name and destroyed my character and just destroyed me, all you YouTubers and you bloggers and everybody with your lying lips, repent. 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 And I'm letting y'all know, every time I see a comment that's disrespectful, I'm going to block you. I'm going to block you, right? If you're disrespecting a young man that just died, I'm going to block you, because this is not a platform to disrespect the dead. Period. I hope he was able to give his life to God before that, so he can be in heaven. All right? So if anybody's going to be disrespecting a young man, not here on this platform, all right? He's not here to defend himself at all. What he did, he did. We all sinned and fell short of the glory of God. Period, point blank. But I want to say this to y'all. I thank God that this chapter of the robbery is closed now. Even though, I'm going to say this to y'all, even though they're telling me, some people are telling me that there's a fourth suspect. There's a fourth person that is part of this robbery. And I'm sure that there's many people that had their hands and have their fingerprints on this robbery. Will we ever know? I don't know. But one thing that I want the world to know is that Bishop Whitehead would never do something like that. How could I set my church up? How could I put my family in jeopardy? How could y'all even believe that for all these months? And some of y'all still believe it. How? How can you allow the world to turn a pastor from a victim to a villain? All the work that I've done out in this community, the work, I put the work in. I helped so many people. And the majority of the people that was tearing my name down was African American. 95% of the people that was tearing my name down was African Americans. 95%. Every media outlet, every wishing for my downfall. And they were lying too. Lying. And I'm not even gonna say no names because I don't even want them to get the attention right now. But it was my own brothers and sisters that was destroying my name. And now the final person that under this investigation is now justice he's dead now. I wish he would have gave himself in so justice could prevail. But now the chapter's closed. Now the chapter's closed. That robbery is now completed. The whole debacle is now completed. And when I say the robbery is completed, it wasn't completed until all of them got caught. Now it's completed. Now, you know, my church can rest. My family can rest. I'm always up. I'm always woke because the devil don't like me. He don't like my anointing. He don't like what God is doing through me. Think about it, y'all. 3 gunmen coming to a church. Come on, y'all. That ain't nothing but the devil. That ain't nothing but the devil. Also, the other 2 young men that pled guilty, you know, I would love to reconcile with them. I would love to speak to their family and have a conversation with them so they can understand my heart and understand that, you know, I get it. We fall short of the glory of God. I'm not exempt. We all sin. But I would love to have a conversation if they're willing and if they're respectful. Because one of the guy's mother was disrespectful towards me. Just disrespectful for no reason. As if I was the one that robbed him. How are you going to be mad at me when your son came into my church and changed my life, my church, my family's life? How are you going to be mad at me? So I would love to have a conversation and sit down with the family just to let them know that I don't have no vengeance towards them or their children. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't change what happened. You can't change it. It happened. I'm still here. Thank God nobody got hurt. Let's thank God for that. Let's thank God for that. They said that this young man that just got killed, they said that he shot. They said he killed somebody else in Rhode Island. I don't know how true that is, but I know he definitely robbed and shot somebody in Providence, Rhode Island. I know that for a fact. But if he had the capacity to pull a trigger then, only God stopped him from pulling the trigger in the church. So I thank God for his covering. You know, one thing, let me tell y'all something. And I'm done in 2 minutes. But let me tell y'all this. There's nobody on this earth that has ever been recorded to turn back the hands of time. Whatever's done is done. You can't change it. All you got to do is learn from it and live.
All right. We're going to... That's the bulk of it, girl. Let me switch over my microphone. It's going to get a little extra loud. You know, before I say everything I'm about to say, I just want to say that every time I see Bishop Criminal Head, I don't know if there's a sympathy or there is a pity or there is a something, but something about him sort of kind of just a smidget tugs on my empathy. I don't know whether it's like this little kid energy in which he speaks and conducts himself. I don't know whether I think it's because he comes off as such a little boy, and you can hear that little 8-year-old Lamar who never had a father, who ran around without shoes on, who was stepping on crystal meth needles while he was on his way to the food bank. You know, like the type of boy that was always in the free lunch line. And there's something like that kind of tugs on my heart. Like there's like just something like my empathy pulls out at that. Because I remember those kids growing up. Like I remember those kids, you know, who was always hungry. They were always ashy around the lips. You know, they always smelled like a decade-old closet. You know, peasy-headed, never was really groomed. You can always hear their parents, you know, fighting through the damn apartment walls. There's something that pulls at me when I, you know, look at Whitehead. Nonetheless, very delusional. Okay. Obviously, we know by now that Bishop Criminal Head is a full-fledged narcissist. So, of course, if you are expecting to hear anything logical, anything humbling, anything honest, of course you're not going to get that. Okay. You're going to get a self-obsessed, deflective, victim shifting, blame shifting narrative, okay, especially from a overt narc, okay, like Bishop Whitehead. Now, of course, if I had not been conditioned to expect this from Lamar Whitehead, I would probably be like some of you who maybe are just new to this thing with my mouth on the floor, my eyeballs shooting out of my damn skull, but I'm so used to Whitehead's buffoonery that I'm not shook nor shaken. But this was another delusional infused rant. One of the first things that stood out to me as I listened in on this live was and this is how we know this is bullshit. We know that this whole pray for the victim's family, this is so pray for the suspect's family. This is so unfortunate. It's just a crock of shit. First of all, if you go look at the Instagram comments, okay, because you know he live streams through Facebook and he live streams through Instagram. You know how he likes to make a post that preludes the actual live. So he made a post saying that he was going to go live at 7 a.m. and that the suspect had been unalived and he's going to talk about it. Well, he was being dragged in his comment section because people was just like, how dare you be insensitive? This is not a man of God. Why are you rejoicing in this man being unalive? This is not Christ-like. So he was getting flamed up. All right. Now, I don't know whether he done went back and deleted those comments or not, but we all know that had he not got flamed up, girl, the original plan was to come on here, trash talking about do God's prophets no harm, thy reapeth what thou sowest, girl. We know what it would have been given, okay? And he probably expected folk to be with the shits, okay? But people are largely still not with the ish, and his haters and critics have their foots, rightfully so, still to this day on his damn neck. All right. So I think he curbed his commentary once he read the room and realized, okay, I don't need to be getting on the public's bad side right now because I am facing trial next month. And this trial about to have me looking all types of goddamn crazy. And I'm about to be public enemy #1. And I really don't want these folks dragging me again. So let me try to appeal to social media. Put my petty aside. And see if I can garner some empathy. See if I can raise the social equity on my reputation, which is about to come back under fire because I'm about to be fighting for the rest of my damn life the way that Mr. Shamar was about to fight for his had he been successfully apprehended. And this is all a attempt, okay, to come off like the nice guy. Now, you guys know that character witnessing goes and plays a big role in things as well. So he knows he's got to appeal to a judge in a week or two, okay? And he needs this 2024 Lamar Whitehead to look like a real nice guy, real reasonable, real kind, real Santa Claus, real Mr. Rogers. He needs to appear as if he is nothing like the person that the DA has on those indictments, okay? He needs to make sure he comes off like a father, like a husband, like a humble servant of the Most High. And he's trying to set it up so that if his ass gets convicted of these charges, that the media that he claims destroyed his reputation, destroyed his church, will be the same media that will give him the benefit of a doubt and give him the same grace that he's pretending, in my opinion, to give to Mr. Shamar, who we all know he want the head of. Because the whole time that Shamar ass was missing, baby, he been talking big shit about these niggas. Okay? He want all they asses to pay for what they did, etc. Boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow, boom, pow. Now that Mr. Shamar has been unalived and Mr. Whitehead himself is only a week or two from the beginning of his goddamn OJ trial. This is a convenient, virtuous, performative virtue on his behalf, okay? Now, one of the things that stood out to me, interestingly enough, was he talked about forgiving these guys and giving Mr. Shamar, who traumatized him and his church and who turned his world upside down. The reason that I know that this is clear and utter bullshit is because he don't even have a third of that forgiveness for the bloggers and for the media that reported on him. You would think that people who simply imitated him or made light of the situation had actually dicked down his damn wife and had been a part of the damn Three Amigos themselves. He ran a witch hunt on everybody else. He pulled out lawsuits on bloggers for simply having an opinion and providing commentary. But he actually forgave, empathizes, sympathizes with the niggas that actually did him and his family and his sanctuary actual harm. It's the lack of continuity for me. Like, whoever is a part of his PR team should have reminded him, girl, like, if you're gonna go the I forgive these men for traumatizing me and putting GUNs to my children's head and my wife's head and for putting me through this media circus, that you're gonna have to forgive media too. You won't be able to conveniently leave that out while you pretend to be filled with such the Holy Spirit and you pretend to be filled with such New Testament virtue and characteristics, okay? If you're going to forgive the men who actually did wrong by you and violated your manhood, your masculinity, your privacies, violated your actual intellectual property, baby, you're gonna have to forgive the entirety of media as well, because all them folk did was yabba dabba do. None of those people that you applied lawsuits to, none of those folk who you constantly slammed came up in your church. They didn't rob you blind. They didn't put you on your nose. They didn't put your feet to the sky. They didn't look your newborn in the face while they were screaming to the top of their lungs and put the Glock back and requested the pearls off of the mother's neck. They didn't go running for cover. Media didn't do none of that. But what media did do is talk about you and the men who did that to you. So this whole forgive Shamar, I forgive Laquan, Daquan, Antoine, etc. is just a crock of bullshit. Lamar and Shamar, the irony, right? Lamar hasn't forgiven anybody. Deep down, everybody knows you feel completely vindicated. That's why it was important for you to be, first corresponder on the damn scene to report live, about how your violators have now all come full circle. 2 of them are in prison and 1 of them is now with the Lord. As you said, circle is complete. All right. Secondly, it was wild because this is how Lamar has childhood trauma. When you have a father fracture or a mother fracture, or you have a family fracture, this fracture can also be caused by bullying too. When you have a societal fracture, it can cause you to be a bit of a pick-me-show. So you go out of your way to be a people pleaser and to do what you have to do to be accepted by people, because the people who are supposed to accept you and love you and affirm you during those very important formative years actually abandon you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, etc. This can cause you to be a very distorted adult who likes to be a overachiever, which the my Whitehead girl love to talk about all he did for the community. I'm a pastor, I'm a real estate agent, I'm gonna do this and I do that, and I done did so much for so many people. Even being a pastor in and of itself is a very easy way for a person with abandonment issues to try to repair those abandonment issues by putting themselves in a position to be honored and revered amongst their community. Now, not all people who hold these positions are fucked up like this, but these are also positions that can conceal and disguise people who are broken and fucked up like this. And Mr. Lamar is one of those people. He has a lot of mommy fractures and daddy fractures and abandonment issues and identity issues rooted in the fact that his mother allegedly, according to one of the relatives, was a crack whore running through the streets, popping that puss harder than the damn city girls, honey. Okay? Lamar had no stable father figure to rely upon and to align himself with, and made claim to someone who is not his biological father, and has clung to that because that man, unlike his actual dad, who was probably some crystal meth head living underneath the underpass of I-95, was in fact a community activist, a stellar man with an incredible and impeccable reputation. Everything that Lamar would hope to someday live authentically up to, but has not, considering the mugshots. But dialing it back, when he said that he wanted to eulogize Shamar's funeral, and he wanted to talk to this man's family and let them know that he forgives Lamar Whitehead. Them damn people don't give a damn about you. They don't need your damn forgiveness. They don't got nothing to atone for. They ain't bothered by you. Hell, they probably believe what the rest of damn social media believes, is that, you know what? Shamar did wrong, but he also did the damn Lord's work working on behalf of karma. Okay? If you think those people think it makes sense to have the man who they relative victimize, eulogize the damn funeral, when your ass might be behind damn bars your damn self, courtesy of the NY Daily News. Because ain't you got federal trial that begins next month, girl? Do you even got room in your schedule to eulogize this man's funeral? When somebody about to be eulogizing damn yours? Because I got a feeling, baby, this trial gonna go by faster than this bitch, the way that those indictments are set up. But Whitehead wanting to eulogize the funeral, that is an attractive position to him. Because when you do a lot of wrong and you have a thriving, guilty conscience, you cling to the few, far, and in between moments where you finally get to be the victim. Because those opportunities rarely come for you as the villain. So that's why he's clung so much to being the victim in this situation where he's been robbed. And if he was sincerely robbed, he is a genuine victim of circumstances. However, he's now carved out an entire identity, because guilty people like to use the one time they innocent as a way to expunge all of their fucking history. They like to use that as a way to paint a broad stroke over all the fuckery and treachery that's lingering in their wake. And so, of course, an opportunist like Whitehead, who has everything to gain from attempting to clean up his reputation, would love to have a photo op with Shamar's family and tell them how he forgives Shamar, as if his forgiveness is going to provide a hell or a heaven for Shamar to be in to begin with, would love and fantasize and salivate at the mouth over such an opportunity. Of course! Because it's just one more stab at trying to look like the woe is me. See? I'm not a bad guy after all. And of course, because he's a narcissist and he's usually the one who's the villain, this is all for manipulative self-gain. Because he don't give a damn about this man's family or about this motherfucking man. This is just a situation where he feels like he can once again save his reputation by exploiting the shit out of the one time where he may actually be an innocent damn person, and he wants everybody to know it. He wants Shamar's family to know it. He wants all the media to know it, because a man facing 2 superseded ass indictments, who have claims from parishioners, claim from other businessmen, claims from the damn administration of the Bank of America for attempted bank fraud, girl. He needs y'all to forget all about that and to remember he's a victim. Just like you. So I thought that was wild. Then He said something else interesting. He kept bringing up Brandon Belmonte. You know, I'm going to be facing trial next month. I'm going to fight for my life. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to prove to you guys all of this white man's lies. Brandon Belmonte is not even a part of his trial. Brandon Belmonte is not a witness. He's not testifying against Lamar, which is kind of weird that he's not. Because, I mean, it's such a 1 + 1 = 2. Hey, Lolisa. Hey, Boo. What's going on, Patricia? Hey, Renee. Hey, Yor. So, where was I? Oh, Brandon Belmonte, white boy lies. That's his narrative, right? Because this is also a part of the narcissistic deflective tactic. Take no responsibility as a narc. None. Okay, so of course, him facing federal charges and potentially doing big penitentiary time with Big Dick Derek down there on cell block 8 is not his fault. Of course, that's somebody else's fault. And in this case, it's Brandon Belmonte's fault. But I had to revisit the superseded indictment. And I just want to read here real quick, okay? This is from the justice.gov gov site. It says here that Lamar Whitehead, who leads a church in Brooklyn, New York, has engaged in a course of conduct in which he sought money and other things of value from victims on the basis of either threats or false promises that the victims' investments would benefit the victims financially. First, Whitehead induced one of his parishioners to invest approximately $90,000 of her retirement savings with him, but instead spent the investment on luxury goods and other personal purposes. Second, Whitehead extorted a businessman for $5,000, then attempted to convince the same businessman to lend him another $500,000 and give him a stake in certain real estate transactions in return for favorable actions from the New York City government, which Whitehead knew he could not obtain. In addition, when speaking to the FBI agents who were executing a search warrant, Whitehead falsely claimed that he had no cell phones other than the phone he was carrying, when, in fact, Whitehead owned a second phone which he regularly used to communicate, including to send a text message describing it as my other phone, shortly after telling the agents that he had no other phones. Whitehead, 45 years of age, is charged with 2 counts of wire fraud, each of which carries a maximum sentence of 20 whole years in prison. 1 count of extortion, which carries a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. And 1 count of making material false statements, which carries a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison, girl. And that ain't even the second indictment regarding the bank fraud and all of that shit. So I'm trying to figure out between allegedly manhandling a parishioner, allegedly manhandling another businessman, and then lying wholeheartedly to the damn FBI about rather this is all of your shit that they're going to haul off into the paddy wagon. Where in the hell did Brandon Belmonte enter the chat? Did anybody else hear about Brandon Belmonte? What Brandon Belmonte got to do with him allegedly running off with $90,000 of an elderly woman's coin? What Brandon Belmonte got to do with this man lying face first to FBI themselves? What Brandon Belmonte got to do with this man running down there to the Chase, trying to do them in to get a $1 million loan under false pretenses concerning his credit, concerning accounts that were burner accounts, putting down falsified information about what was in those accounts, in an attempt for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. Where is Brandon Belmonte? Thank you, Lorna. Yes, the third suspect in the Whitehead church robbery in 2022 was unalive, was shot down by U.S. Marshals today outside of a hotel. Shamar allegedly came out guns blazing, ooting at the police, and they ooted back, and he was unalive in the process. He was also with a female who I see some of you guys are also asking. I don't know who the female is. We don't have a lot of information about the female. I'm going to assume the female was a prostitute. Okay, any hotel that has the word "in" after it is typically a coochie popping hotel, girl. Okay, it's giving economic end. It's getting red roof in. Okay, coochie popping teens, girl. Okay, probably with another, delinquent female. Like attracts like. Now if he came outside with the GUNs, that means this woman was in there pussy popping in the room while the GUNs were scattered about on the mattress and on the motel floor. So she was with the shits. Okay, it damn sure wasn't Becky with the good hair. In the Red Roof Inn. With Django here. Okay? So, but she got out safely, girl. Okay? If there's anything that a hoe does know how to do successfully, girl, is pop pussy and run, bitch. Okay? Anybody who ever knew a hoe, girl, got two mutant abilities, girl. They can do anything with a ping. And them hoes know how to run faster than this bitch. Okay? Phantom of the Opera, girl. Okay? Because when you got to do all type of salacious things in the midnight hour, baby, you got to watch out for the spotlights. You got to watch out for the flashing lights, baby. Okay? When you used to doing and being a lady of the night, sugar. Okay, so daytime is like kryptonite to a hoe, baby. So you damn right she got out there swiftly and professionally. Hell, she might have fled police custody successfully too. Okay, I would not be surprised if they did not apprehend her ass because all they saw was her shadow moving at 100 miles an hour, baby. A big rush through police cars. They probably ain't even took this woman in for questioning, girl. Couldn't even get this hoe in the back of the patrol car. They just know she got out uninjured. Now, on top of other buffoonery that Lamar spoke about, he also said something interesting. He said that the church can rest now, because this whole robbery thing has been a lot. Okay, his members are traumatized, the media, etc., girl. I'm gonna beg to differ. I don't think the church can rest because there are two fundamental things existing here that will not allow the church to rest if the church had any damn sense. Because let me tell you what the hell would keep me from returning back to International Mugshots of Tomorrow Ministries had I been one of the first ladies to hit the damn floor when them niggas came running up through there. For one of the variables that attracted these niggas to rob us is you and your flashiness. There has been no course correction about you or your flashiness. There's been no conversation. Matter of fact, you have actually doubled down when criticized about why you're wearing millions of dollars worth of jewelry around the city in an unsecured manner. You have doubled down on the fact that you can wear what you want to wear. and you should be able to, and there should be no penalty. And in the ideal world, you are absolutely right, baby. You should be able to tote around $1 million worth of Cuban zirconium jewelry, girl. Regardless of if it's turning orange and turning the backside of your damn ear green. That you should have the right to wear 1 million pounds of Miss Cuban zirconium in plastic, boo. Okay, without ending up on nobody's radar, correct. But the issue is, nigga, is that them niggas knew where to find you, and they knew what you had on you, which is what influenced and motivated their asses to look at you as a lick. And since you ain't learned a damn thing since being licked upside your damn head, I'm gonna refuse to return, and I'll catch you virtually with the other several members who watch you live. Because I don't need them coming for the Porsche next. I don't need them coming for the ruby ring you done replaced that you still wear on your finger down to the storefront, girl. What I don't need is round 2, Miss Mama. And the way that these indictments is setting up, girl, you only got $10 in one account and $15 in the check-ins, bitch. You can't afford Homeland Security. You can't even afford a damn tripod with a makeshift camera on that motherfucker at this point. So there's not going to be any change in the environment, and they ain't changing your motherfucking attitude, which means that we will continue to live stream the sermons safely from our homes. Secondly, the reason why this isn't closed, this chapter ain't closed, because of your past, and according to the indictments, girl, according to your present, you are still very much so into some things that men of God should not be into. You are very much so still out here in these streets, girl, wilding out. You need to go ahead and talk to Nick Cannon, girl, since you love to be into some wild things. So for all we know, is that there's more of this to come. We don't know how many badass deals you done made. You got all these folk who been documented and chronicled in these indictments who also have filed civil suits against you and want their damn coin. You done pissed a lot of people off. You done hurt a lot of people. And a lot of people have personal grievances with you. So we would look a damn fool to return back to mugshots of tomorrow, girl. Not knowing who the hell and where the hell the next damn domestic terrorist attack is going to happen at. Because you got so many niggas on your heads. You done caught several damn different people's names since you done been robbed. You the one always claiming you being set up. You the one always claiming that the government, pedestrians, citizens, your in-laws, everybody under the sun is after your ass. So no, this ain't closed, sugar. This ain't closed at all, girl. Cause now, girl, this done all opened up a can of worms. And if any of those several good cooking arm ass parishioners had any damn good sense, they would be thinking about all the things I just thought about, putting myself hypothetically in their damn position. That would keep my ass sitting right chill while you preaching from down on top of the damn bodega. So now, trial. It's gonna be interesting, bitch. Because as I've said before in previous commentary, and I'm gonna say it again, I did not think the feds had a case when the first indictment happened. The first indictment was the one I just read. Him strong-arming these people, him begging people for money, him being aggressive, him making promises he didn't keep, him, verbal contracts, written contracts not being fulfilled, etc. I'm like, okay, it was weak for me. It was given weak, and I had expressed that. But girl, when the superseded indictment happened, and they clocked all his tea down there to the banks, girl, they clocked all of the fraudulent paperwork. They clocked that nigga trying to literally, allegedly defraud an entire banking system. Girl, you were directly trying to allegedly defraud the federal government. That was how I knew, okay, girl, this is the blood. This is the meat right here. That shit with the parishioner and the businessman, I'm going, I wasn't impressed. It did give that the feds personally wanted Lamar's Whitehead, and they were going to attempt to try to turn a molehill into a whole entire mountain. Now, the issues in the initial indictment were issues that could have been wrestled out civilly, because you guys know that the alleged parishioner, who he said was never a parishioner for his church, she had already had a lawsuit on file and pending against him. The feds came through and hijacked her civil suit by turning it into a criminal case. So we never even got to really see how that would have turned out. But the parishioner, you guys know in previous live streams, girl, I showed the text message correspondences, etc. Lamar Whitehead lied to that damn woman, and he really tried to play in her damn face, and the text messages reflected that. He was pussy popping from the east to the west, girl, but he ultimately was incriminating himself like all damn dumbass criminals do. Like all dumbass criminals do. Okay? Don't come in here asking me about why somebody else is not a moderator. Go ask that person why they don't have a ranch. Okay? I don't assign ranches to people and have to go through my audience for approval. And I don't tend to answer to my audience about why somebody doesn't have a ranch. Okay? So you go and you inquire to her about why she ain't got a ranch. All right. So the second superseded indictment, bitch. That's gonna be the gusto. My question to y'all is, do you think that they're gonna get him? Because y'all know when it comes to some of these weird folk, sometimes the government allow these folk to run amok because they kind of do the work of the KKK for the KKK. The black criminals kind of get to be the puppets for the pale criminals. So I don't have a lot of confidence even in the federal government, because I know how tired they are. I know how much they don't really give a damn, especially when it comes to black on black criminality. And sometimes they will weaponize black criminals against the black community, because that's just how the criminal justice system get down. So I don't know how I feel about whether the feds are going to really do their job, because I would not be surprised if Lamar gets off, just for the reasons I just stated. The way that the criminal justice system is set up, girl, I could easily see him taking a little plea deal. They might give him a little 1, 2, 3. But ultimately, girl, he'll be back amongst us. Back amongst the pot, girl. Well, I don't know. Let me see while we here, because I never was able to get into. I never got a hold on. Let me. Mayor Adams. Somebody just asked if Adams is under investigation. Let me see. Okay, this is from Time Magazine. What to know about the federal investigation into Eric Adams' 2021 campaign. This is an article from last November. Let me see. According to the time.com, the FBI and New York City federal prosecutors are currently investigating whether the New York City Mayor Eric Adams' 2021 campaign received illegal foreign donations amid speculation about his relationship with Turkish officials. Authorities have been looking into Adams' campaign finances since the spring. According to the New York Times, on November the 6th, federal agents seized Adams' electronic devices while he was leaving an event in New York. Quote, the mayor immediately complied with the FBI's request and provided them with electronic devices. Boyd Johnson, Adams' attorney, said on November 10th, the mayor has not been accused of any wrongdoing and continues to cooperate with the investigation. Just 4 days earlier, the FBI searched the home of Brianna Suggs, Adams' 25-year-old chief fundraiser, who helped the mayor raise more than $18 million for his election campaign. Adams, who is running for re-election, has not been charged with any crimes. Here's what we know about the investigation. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing, girl. But like mentee, like mentor, girl. Okay, that's all that I got to say, girl. And all of the criminality, ironically, surrounds money. Now, either this is just one hell of a coincidence. You guys know, as a spiritualist, there is no such thing as coincidences. And sometimes what we call coincidences or irony is actually synchronicity and the law of attraction at work. So, Eric Adams and his ties with Lamar, both of them are under investigation. The irony. Both under investigation regarding fraud, allegedly, ironically. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that Eric or Lamar have been doing things together. But energy attracts energy. Okay, there's a lot of things responsible for why people come together romantically, platonically, etc. And it's an energy thing. Even when people are not necessarily working hand in hand, what's responsible for their proximity is on an energetic level. Or it may be that there's been some colluding between them both. Who fucking knows? But this is very interesting, girl, because everybody around Lamar is going down. Brandon Belmonte ass is in jail. He's also, I think his first trial date was a few months ago. I got to catch up on what's going on with his trial. Scammer, Lamar. Eric Adams, girl. Somebody asked about the wife. I don't know where the wife is. The last time that we reported on her, she had fled safely, but barely within inches of her damn sanity and life, allegedly. Okay. You know, she had left the home with the baby in tow. Initially, she was going to try to move out, allegedly, on a Sunday when he would have been down there to the storefront church, but instead he must have knew something was up. The enemy must have whispered in his damn ear. So ironically, he postponed church that Sunday morning, and she still proceeded to go through with her plans. and there was a lot of drama that happened that Sunday. He called the authorities because apparently you cannot use a U-Haul on a Sunday in the part of New Jersey where they live. So he was able to prohibit her from leaving with the U-Haul as a result of her feeling like she was being held hostage. She had to call her family, who pulled up as well and were apparently banging the front door down, etc. She eventually did make it to safety. He had to let her go. She made a Insta story. She posted her Insta story a few hours after the whole ordeal, saying something to the extent of freedom at last. And then a few weeks later, we saw them in a few photos together. She was still in attendance at church. It was being speculated whether they were still together or not. At that point, my hypothesis was she was still doing the co-parent thing with him, etc. Girl, it's all in the live stream, girl. We had unpacked it, girl, because we had intel, girl. We had sources, girl, giving us the tea, giving us the business, honey. Shout out to my baby mother, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Thank you, boo, for the nasty piece. Cash app, thank you. So I don't know what the situation is with the wife. For all I know, she's probably happy. She probably been waiting on this day like everybody else, girl. This nigga was clearly driving her ass crazy too. This also has been an interesting stain on her own reputation with her being his first lady, etc., and having to go through this ordeal and have your legacy tied into a pastor that, you know, got fraud charges against him, etc. Girl, it must be pretty humiliating, right, Lorna? Keeping up appearances. So will she be holding the bishop down, you know, as he undergoes trial, girl? Will she be, you know, pushing up in her stilettos, girl? In her Giuseppe heels, girl? Will they be giving first lady? Or is he on his own, girl? Okay? Or will it be giving Megan Good? When was his grandmother's funeral? I have no idea, child. I don't keep up with these people like that. Did he ever come for... Well, when you say come for Larry, like, what you mean come for? I mean, he definitely talks shit. And he filed a frivolous lawsuit that has existed frivolously in the damn system. I never heard of that. Can't use a U-Haul. Yeah, I never heard of it either. But you know, like these sometimes like these communities have like these really interesting, weird laws and shit. Probably something stemming back from some religious ass law about not working on the Sabbath, etc. Some shit that needs to be taken off the books so that when women find themselves married to a crazy ass religious fanatic and need to haul ass like Jennifer Lopez in the movie enough that they can do so swiftly and very damn professionally. Clownhead is not getting away with this. He just doesn't stop. Yeah, so nothing came of the lawsuit, child. Nothing. He filed a lawsuit. Larry filed a response. And the courts have apparently honored that damn response. So it was another frivolous one, like all the other frivolous ones. Now, is it Miss... What's her name? Miss Jones, you guys know he had filed a civil suit against as well. And she ended up winning her countersuit against him. And he actually owes her motherfucking money. Okay, we gagged about that. In Louisiana, it's like that because of stuff falling off of the truck and you can't move at night. Well, this was in the morning, though. You know, she was trying to utilize the U-Haul first thing in the morning when he would have been, under normal circumstances, already at the church. But, you know, that male intuition, girl. a lot of like ratchet ass men have very strong intuitions, girl. I wonder why like the intuition don't be thriving for healthy men. Like healthy men don't pick up on shit. It's always the nigga you don't need having a psychic sense who got a psychic sense. You know. But that's what's going on, girl. Shamar. Oh, we ain't done. So what's interesting about Shamar now transitioning is, you know, Whitehead is over there feeling very vindicated. He's feeling very, very vindicated. Like, you know, everything came full circle. Whitehead, you haven't been vindicated because nobody still largely knows what this was even about. And with Shamar being the ringleader of this whole heist, apparently he was the one that got the boys' information. He was the mastermind behind this. Now that he won't be sitting down with authorities or investigators, we will never now know what his side of this is. It can even be argued hypothetically that may be the reason why you're so empathetic and sympathetic. Because if what the critics said is true, that Lamar was or had something to do with this, and now the person that he did this with is no longer here to talk, that's convenient. And it'd be very easy to forgive somebody, especially somebody who really didn't do you wrong in the first place, because this was a collaboration. See, I can see how this doesn't vindicate anything for those who believe that Lamar had something to do with it. And as I've stated in previous commentary, I don't think the two boys who have been arrested, I don't think that they probably knew anything beyond what their role was and what their reward would be. If there's anybody who had any exclusive intel, who had maybe any intel that could really break the case, it probably would have been Shamar, who's now not with us, because the U.S. Marshals took him down in a shoot-off earlier today. So what this means for the robbery itself, I don't know. You know, for Whitehead, he may feel like it puts a period on the end of things, but if anything, it leads to folk having more questions than answers. The two people in question probably don't have much to tell because they were utilized as utilities in this situation. The one person who probably would have had the most to share is no longer now here. And now Whitehead thinks everybody should take his word when his own credibility is non-existent because, sir, you're facing trial for fraud next month. Extortion. To commit fraud means that you are a liar, a deceiver. So the same person who is being accused of thievery by deception, bribery, taking by way of force, is not the same person who thinks that society should find their word credible. This just leads to more questions than answers because this has been a very bizarre unfolding. You got 3 people who robbed a church in broad daylight while it was being streamed live, which is how they knew where he was and what he had on his persons because it was sitting there being streamed in 4K. That right there is odd by itself. What burglarized in the broad of day in real time where something is being live streamed in the right now, right here? 2 of those suspects initially gets brought into, they get apprehended. They initially take a plea deal and then challenge the plea deal, which sets the court dates back. Why would they do that? They were caught red-handed. All the evidence points to them being the individuals who committed the crime. Why in the fuck would they challenge the plea deals they initially took? That was bizarre. Like, what the fuck? And then the third suspect, who is the mastermind in the whole situation, is unalived at the hands of authorities. And then the person who they victimized and stole from is facing trial next month for doing the same thing that Shamar them did, except he did it electronically. He did it by way of allegedly intimidation tactics. He did it allegedly by paperwork, but essentially committed the same damn crime or attempted to. This could not be more of a bizarre fucking situation if I've ever seen one. Am I the only one? Talk about a fucking circus. This is a goddamn shit show. Like, this is something typically that would be fictional. This is the kind of shit people write out of their imaginations and make into series and shows and movies. But no. Here it is. This is real fucking life. This almost is supernatural. What in the entire fuck? How could something like this happen in reality? This is something that this is giving Netflix and Hulu, girl, a run for their damn money, girl. This is giving scripted television a run for all of its coin. This is a extremely bizarre, paranormal unfolding, girl. I am impressed. This one situation with Lamar and this robbery and all the events connected to it is literal proof that the universe not only orders what's right and good in the world, but that there's also order to chaos. This is ordered chaos. There is fuckery from beginning to fucking end. Beginning to end. So, y'all know we're going to be keeping up with trial. The way that this universe been handing out ass whoopings and lollipops, I could see, like, this is the wrong time to have any type of a case, girl. Like, the age of Aquarius, all these damn dramatic ass retrogrades we about to have for the rest of the year, girl. Whitehead better hope that none of his goddamn dates land on a retrograde, girl, because just Miss 2024, just this whole age of Aquarius girl is giving these girls the absolute work. He should be terrified. Because Mother Spirit, mad, and mad as all hell, baby. You better watch out. You better not cry. Because I'm telling you why. The age of Aquarius is coming to town. She knows when you are sleeping. She knows when you're awake. Big Derek on cell block 8. Baby, he coming for them cakes. It's going to be a dramatic year, y'all. Hey, Crystal. It's the confiscating a whole church, too. Oh, right. That part. How did we forget that the man allegedly stole an entire church? These people had to steal their own shit back. I mean, Whitehead is the gift that keeps on gifting, girl. Keeps on gifting. I guess Brandon Belmonte is also responsible for his marriage issues. Is responsible for his building issues. You guys also remember his property in Connecticut was about to be demolition, girl, and deemed uninhabitable by the damn city. He wasn't even paying the damn electric, the water, no nothing. The damn tenants living with rats, asbestos, roaches. They got buckets underneath the sink. Girl, the damn tenants are having to wear Pampers because there is no working plumbing. Right, Cynthia, a whole damn slumlord. So how you behind on bills and your building is behind on codes? And then remember when we were talking about like him having to rob Peter to pay Paul? That was more than likely the motivation to attempt to commit all that damn bank fraud was because he had to keep up with all his investments, girl. Allegedly. His investments, girl, was about to crash. And apparently the house been in foreclosure since last year. When the wife left, the house had already been in foreclosure for months, girl. So she tried to get out before Titanic fully was submerged under the water. Thank you, T-Lounge. It's a mess. The whole shit, the man's whole existence. And I think that's what I'm just like, girl. How are you this old and you don't know how to do life? I can understand going through all your crazy shit as a teenager. You go through all your crazy shit even in your 20s. Maybe go through all your crazy shit somewhat. Somewhat of your crazy shit in your 30s. How you half a decade away from being 50 and you have more problems now in your life than you ever had when you was a young boy, when you was a teenage boy, when you was a young, dumb, and full of cum as a 21-year-old man. How you almost 50 and you are facing major time in the big pen at 50. And for Lamar to sit here and look directly in that mirror and he see everybody else when he look, that's a narcissist. I told y'all that a narcissist has then a vampire's reflection. They don't see themselves in a reflection like normal people. That's why it's never their fault. And then in place of seeing nothing, they project everybody else into the image. How can you be a so-called bishop and be a part of a movement and a religion that's supposed to be a reflection of your own integrity and your own ability to self-correct, and then sit and constantly play the victim and take not any lick of accountability? But that's the age we're living in, right? Nobody takes accountability. In this current version of reality, when you hold people accountable, the narrative is you're committing offenses against that person. You can't even hold people accountable in this system. You can't tell the truth about people in this system. You can't do any of that in this system. The system is ran by a bunch of satanic, loose-minded ass motherfuckers. But they got the right age, baby, because this is the age of total fucking justice. So whether Lamar has the personal ability to self-reflect, it won't keep the powers that be, the righteous principalities of the world, from weaponizing those check and balances against him. He'll have to atone for his sins like anybody else. Whether he believes he committed sins or not is going to be irrelevant to the laws of nature, to the laws of spirit, baby. The laws of spirit don't need you to confess to the truth. The laws of spirit, girl, don't need you to comply, because it knows it's going to have the last word, and it's going to have the last word. It's going to have the final say so. With or without your consent, with or without your compliance, with or without your testimony, with or without your confession. The laws of spirit do not give a damn. So all these hoes are fucking with the right motherfucking era, girl. This is the wrong era to do wrong in, bitch. All right? So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, girl. What y'all think is given. Give me y'all hypothesis. What's going on, Ray Ray? That's what I be saying. Like, why folks now wait until a prime time to sit down and chill to start going to court and getting caught up? Raquel says, yeah, that's federal. You won't get a slap on the wrist for that. Yep. You know, they say that the feds have a 80, 90 something %, conviction rate. And he's already a 2-3 time damn repeat offender. So he's got a lot working against him, and trying to defraud a whole banking institution, girl. You done fucked the game all the way up. He didn't. It's going to be interesting to see how this goes. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Continue to share. Tell a friend of a friend of a friend. Thumbs up. All of that good jazz, girl. I may come back before the night is out, girl, to get into some TGIFT. If you guys enjoyed yourselves, girl, hit that Cash App and that PayPal. I love you long time. And I will see you guys on the flip side. Good night.